What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Oh yeah, so you guys were telling me in the comments last episode that these sprinklers actually do increase the growth of plants. So we have hooked them up. I was kind of experimenting with them, trying to figure out how many aqueous accumulators we needed, how many tanks we needed, this kind of stuff. So I wanted to go and plant some plants down here with the soil being hydrated by our sprinklers. And as it turns out, I put the sprinklers up too high above the ground, and they will not keep the ground hydrated, which is too bad. You think they would, because you can see the water droplets obviously hitting the ground down below, but the ground is untilling. So I was doing some experiments trying to make sure that these sprinklers would in fact hydrate ground, and it does, but I just have them one block too high, unfortunately. So if I place some dirt here and I till this, yeah, that ground obviously is becoming hydrated, and it's always gonna, stay the farmland. It's not gonna turn back into dirt. So I need to move these sprinklers down a block. Unfortunately, I kind of wanted them right there because it feels like they're high enough where you're not gonna bump your head on them. You can, well, I guess you can't do it with the jetpack. If you turn the jetpack off, though, you can kind of jump and not worry about hitting your head on them. Yeah, it just felt like a nice height, but unfortunately, in order to keep the ground hydrated, we need to move that down one block. So I was doing some testing here, and it seems like one basic aqueous accumulator, there's no upgrades or anything like that. One of these is enough to keep 8 sprinklers going. If we look in the tank here, you can see it's kind of going up and down. It is slowly going up higher, as you can see, because there's 5 buckets of water in there and it started out with 0. It is a little slow, but it is enough to keep 8 of these going. So I have 2 separate aqueous accumulators over here, just pulling water from the air. If we put source blocks of water next to it, obviously it'll go faster, and we'd only need 1 for everything. So that's going to be something we'll figure out. I don't know if I want to keep those up there. Maybe it'd be kind of cool, like in the center, if we had like a big water tank and that kind of like fed everything. We'll have to experiment with that stuff. But first things first, I'm going to move everything down 1 block so our sprinklers will be hydrating the soil down below. We can get rid of these torches and stuff in the center. Yeah, so let me work on that, guys, and we will be right back. Alright, guys, so there we go. Now everything's down 1 block lower, and it is in fact hydrating all of the tilled soil down below, which is awesome. So these things will never revert back to regular dirt, and the sprinklers do speed up the tick rate from what you guys have said. I know I mentioned that already, but yeah, somebody posted code to like the GitHub page for this, and it does actually do like random ticks on the crops, which is pretty cool. So we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna be like significantly faster or not, or as fast as like the watering can. I don't know if it would be as fast as the watering can. That seems a little overpowered if you can do like a large range like this, but yeah, it definitely will be faster than not having anything at all. So I'm pretty happy with that. I like the way it's looking so far. The only thing is, those irrigation channels look like they are just kind of floating in air. And I was wondering what we could do about that too. So like I made some fence posts, and I was thinking maybe we could do some supports or whatever to make these things look like they are, being supported like that, but they don't really connect. So maybe we would do something like this around the sides or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if we'd do that or not. I guess we could try and just see what it looks like having one of these supported like this. The only thing is, these fence posts kind of make the walkway a little bit more narrow, so that's something else we'd have to take into consideration here. But yeah, I would like these things held up some way. Maybe we could have like, I don't know, a thing out of fence posts, like a roof kind of a deal, have leaves on that, and then we could have these supported from the ceiling. That's another idea that I've been kind of thinking about, but yeah, I'll have to play around with this. I would like to get something nicer looking around here than just having, just stone everywhere. I mean, eventually we will start building some things in this area and make things look nicer. We just haven't gotten there just yet. So as far as having 2 aqueous accumulators, we could switch this over to just one and have like a big tank in the center here, which I think might be a pretty cool idea. These tanks are like a multi-block. I did make a few more of those over here. Let's see. Yeah, we got some more tanks here. So if you put the tank down next to another one, they kind of merge together, and now it says water level 0 out of 16,000. And we can do that. Now it's out of 32,000. So you can make like a big tank, so we could support multiple aqueous accumulators into the same one or whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking we could try this real quick. Let me connect these, put up a multi-block tank next to it, and see what that's looking like. Alright guys, so I had to plant some plants here and just kind of see how fast the sprinkler actually made these plants grow, and it looks like it's going pretty good. I've had these planted here for about 5 or 10 minutes. I've just been kind of watching it and doing some other things and just, you know, glancing over every once in a while. And every time I glance over, I see like 3 or 4 of these things fully matured, and then the harvester comes and harvests them. So yeah, we've got a bunch of silver. I don't really think we need to do a full crop field full of these things. I was thinking we'd kind of devote one of these plots to different materials or whatever. I think 3 is enough, so we'd probably do like 3 redstone and then 3 gold or whatever, something like that. I'll go through and I'll have to make all of the different top tier versions of the seeds. I don't think there's anything better on the redstone. I was looking at that earlier. There might be, but I didn't see anything. So yeah, I think 3 rows might be more than enough, or enough, one of the two, but I don't think we want to go any more than that. So I did set up a bigger tank here in the center for our water. We do have to put 2 of these aqueous accumulators. One is just not enough to keep up with all of these sprinklers that are going right now. We can turn them off and on using the valves or whatever, but we aren't going to be doing that. So we could shrink this down to just 1 aqueous accumulator if we put some water on either side of this, which I think we're gonna do if we keep the tank up here anyway. I'd rather just have 1 than multiple of these things going. Another thing we could do is just have like 1 tank here in the center, and we could pipe water up from underground, and then that could, you know, send the water over to the other things. One more thing I was thinking about is, instead of even having this pipe running along like that, maybe we could do the whole fence post thing like I was thinking, except instead of fence posts, there would be pipes coming up in the center, and then that could feed a tank up here, and then each one of these sprinklers would be like its own freestanding little deal. So we could like disconnect these guys right here or whatever. This up here would be its own tank. Yeah, we got an extra tank here. Let's put a tank there. So that would be a tank like that. And then this would be its own pipe coming up, and then it would look a little bit better, I think, instead of having all these pipes running around. That might be something that we do. So we were gonna need a way to get water to all of these different things underground. We're gonna need some water pipes and all that going on. I know you can disguise the thermal dynamics. These pipes. I know you can do some kind of the, oh, I can't even know. Is it a structure pipe? Yeah, structural duct. I think that you combine that with the type of block, and then you can disguise any of the thermodynamics pipes like that. I don't know if you can disguise it as a fence post. That'd look kind of cool instead of having a water pipe come up. But I will try it as the water pipes, and then we can experiment with that. But I think that's going to end up being better, just having their own little freestanding sprinkler operations like that, instead of having the central thing and all the little pipes coming out. So yeah, let me start working on that, and we'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, so this is the setup that we went with. We just have water pipes coming up out of the center and going into a water tank, and that water tank distributes the water to the 4 sprinklers in each one of these little sections. So down below, what I ended up doing is just putting 1 aqueous accumulator surrounded by water. You don't need that much, you only need 2 source blocks, but we did it this way anyway. I have the pipe coming up, and that just kind of like splits off to the different sides. I have this pipe 2 blocks below the ceiling here, so we can put our resource blocks underneath the crops. And yeah, I have 3 rows of silver, 3 rows of redstone, and 3 rows of gold currently in this one field, and this is going pretty good. Now before, we had one solar panel, the tier 1, providing enough power for our harvester to keep up, but we are getting resources pretty quickly now, and this one solar panel, you can see it's draining power. It's at 10,000 out of 50,000 with its internal buffer. It is not keeping up with the harvest rate that we need, so I'm gonna have to upgrade these to tier 2s in order to keep up with the power. I did set up the same setup on all these other 3 fields over here. Whoops. So we have everything hooked up, well, ready to go for when we get the plants. I did change out the gold seeds. I made the golden rods 10, 10, 10. These are the second tier that make the gold ingots. And like I said, there is no other tier for the redstone, so we're just using the same ones that use the redstone ore down below. So I was trying to figure out how to make these pipes look better, and I saw that we can make fence covers from thermodynamics, but when you put those on, whoops, did that go in the center? Oops. Yeah, when you put those on, it doesn't really help the appearance of the pipes at all. So I don't think we're gonna go with that particular method of making this look better. Let's get rid of this, and can I click that out of there? It's gone. Oh, found it. Okay, so we got the fence covers back. We have these oak covers. We can make these look like wooden planks. Whoops, I did it again. Didn't mean to. So we could do this all the way up the pipes and, you know, just make it look like a solid thing of wooden planks up there, which kind of matches the way that is, but I don't know if we want to do that or not either. So I've just been kind of fumbling around here, trying some different things. Unfortunately, I would like to have farmland be this cover block down here, but in order to do that, I need to get the actual farmland block, and there isn't a way to get this block as far as I can tell. But if we had it, we could use it with a structural duct and then get the farmland covers. But yeah, we can't get that, so that's a problem. So we're just using regular dirt right there for that center spot, so we're not seeing a hole underneath. But yeah, I'm liking the way this has turned out. The sprinklers look pretty good. If we could figure out something better to do with these pipes, I mean, we could even go with like the solid pipes or whatever that you can't see the water through, but I think that actually looks kind of good with the water in the center of these pipes. I don't know. That's something we can mess around with a little bit later, but it's definitely looking a lot more clean without all the aqueducts or whatever connecting all these pipes and that big water tank in the center. Yeah, I think this is going to be a much better setup. So what I need to do is make more seeds, upgrade these solar panels to tier 2 since they'll keep up, or we need more power to keep up with the 10, 10, 10 plants and the sprinklers up above, making them grow a little bit faster. Also, yeah, we're going to be running out of space here pretty quick, so maybe an on-off switch would be good for these. Another thing I'd like to do is have tesseracts here instead of chests, so when the harvester harvests resources, they go directly into our AE system. We don't have to worry about it. Yeah, we're going to be getting a lot of resources, so we'll have to figure out a bigger storage system for this soon, I think. Maybe the next seeds I should make is like the iron seeds. We've been using Invar for a lot of stuff, and I was thinking maybe we should make the electrum seeds, but we're getting plenty of gold and plenty of silver, and we can always melt those together and combine those into electrum. I don't know. But yeah, still some more work to be done here, so I'm going to get to it, and I will see you guys in a bit. Oh my goodness, guys. So I have been at this for quite some time now. It's been a couple of hours since the last clip. Yeah, I have made some ironweed seeds. These are the top end iron plants. We got 27 of those, and they're all the 10, 10, 10s. And I have also made nickel weed seeds. So we are making both nickel and iron now, which is awesome. So yeah, it's, like I said, it's taken a bit of time to get to that stage, and I've been working my tail off to get those things done. I was going to try and fill out the rest of those, but man, that is just taking too much time. We'll have to do the other crop fields over time, over the next few episodes, I would imagine. So I wanted to work on some more quests today. I want to get some of these knocked out. I saw here that we had one quest with an unclaimed reward, and it turns out, was that an assembly line? Yeah. I did make some tesseracts. Actually, I don't think I showed you guys that. I made tesseracts flying to the opposite spot of where we should be. I made tesseracts here, if I can fly. These are providing the harvesters with their power. It's sharing the same power line that we're sending to our quarry, and the harvesters are putting their items into the tesseracts. So all that stuff is now coming down over here. I keep taking a look at this stuff and making blocks out of the redstone, the silver, the gold, the iron, and all this stuff. As it starts filling up, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. We need like an automatic way to turn the farms on and off, or we need to hook up deep storage units for all of these different resources that we are going to be collecting. We definitely need more storage, period, because we have these 4Ks and then we have these 1Ks. But yeah, we're going to have to upgrade those to like at least 16s at some point in the future. We need to hook up a bunch of the automated stuff for applied engineering, so I can say, hey, give me 100 processors and I'll start creating those. But anyway, that'll be for another day. So we got a quest complete because I made those tesseracts, and this is going to give me a tesseract for free. That's awesome. Okay, so I will take that. So now we're down to the laser mining part, and I don't think we're going to start working on this just yet. We really need to improve our power situation before we even worry about this. So we'll leave that for later. Cyclic crafting. Well, we made a schematic for something. I guess I never made the cyclic assembler. That's going to give us a red print. I don't know what the red print is. Weird. Another thing, we were talking about under Power Grid last episode that I don't think that I had any of the Botania stuff set up. You guys reminded me that I did start working on it before, but we took it down. So I do have a mana pool, and I do have, I think, day blooms. Yeah, we made this stuff before, so we can do some Botania stuff, but we don't have it properly set up at this point in time. But I would like to check this out, see how much RF we can get from Botania. We'll look at that a little bit later when we start getting back into Botania a bit. For now, where were we? Was that under assembly line? Yeah. For now, let's start working on some of these quests here. Let's make the cyclic assembler. This is pretty cool. It's a way to auto-craft stuff. It does require a little bit of power, though. So there's different tiers it appears. We're going to make the basic one, and I made up a few of these gears already. Oops. There we go. There's a cyclic assembler. All right. So this guy looks just like every other thermal expansion machine. Got the power. You put in a blueprint here, and then this is where you put in the materials that the blueprint will auto-craft, and then you can output that to whatever side. You can input the materials from whatever side. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this thing. So for instance, if you wanted to set this thing up to auto-craft compressed cobblestone, you just fill in the little grid here. You put a blueprint in here and you click this thing, and that writes this pattern to the blueprint, and then it knows how to auto-craft that as long as it has the materials in its inventory. So yeah, I like this guy a lot. Very nice for some auto-crafting we'll be doing in the future. But right now, I don't think we're going to be doing too much with it. Let's clean up the inventory a little bit. Get out of my inventory chest. Okay, so we got that done. That's going to give us a red print. Use on a device to copy its settings. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice. Okay, so I will look at that at some other time when we have a bunch of machines and they all need to be configured the same way. That'll help out a lot. That's pretty cool. Okay, so moving on. Redstone copying. Ever get tired of setting every machine setting one by one? With a red print, you can copy the settings from one thermal expansion machine to another. Awesome. Yeah, we just got that as a reward. Augments can be put into machines and dynamos to increase their efficiency, speed, and production. However, you can only have so many per machine, and you'll need to make sure the tiers match. Okay, so this is going to put in the augments and stuff per machine. Interesting. Now, it says red print 1 out of 1. I wonder, does having that in my inventory... Okay, so we just won that quest. Augment stabilized frame and flux modulation. Stabilized. How do you spell stabilized? S-T-A-B-I-L. Stabilized frame, got it. And what was the other one? Flux modulation. Okay, so these two guys are what we need to create. So we need the silver thingy. Do we have any of these pieces ready to go? No, we don't have the silver one. So we will make the silver guys. This one, no, that does not use a silver. Okay, so there's this one. This says dynamo power output level 2. Minus 25% base fuel energy. 4 times energy produced, 4 times energy consumed. Interesting. Okay, so dynamo seemed like a pretty good way to make power. We are missing bronze ingots. Let's see. How do we make the bronze again? Wasn't there a forestry recipe? Is it this one? Nope. One of these. Oh, I think it was that one. Click it. Okay, got it. Let's make a stack of those. Okay, so now we got some bronze in the system. And we are missing rock wool. Okay, so rock wool, one of these, when I click on it, will eventually get to where we need to be. I think it's light gray, or is it? It might be gray. Oh my goodness. Rock wool. One of these actually has a proper recipe, not just dyeing it. And I don't think it's the white one. Okay, actually, it's the one with the arrows on it. There we go. So we need slag. We have to smelt slag, and that turns into rock wool. So how do we get slag? Well, that's the uses. So we get slag by, I guess, the induction smelter by doing some recipes here. Are there any that are like 100%? Doing yellowite ore is 75%, but that's with using cinnabar. So sand in an ore gives us a 10% chance or a 5%. Looks like pyrotheum gives us a 15%. Okay, well, what we need to do, let's grab some sand and some kind of an ore. I'm just going to take 10 because it doesn't really matter. We'll take these guys down here to our induction smelter. All right, and now we can take that and make the stabilized frame. Awesome. So we got an extra rock wool here. Yeah, I just made a quick cut there just to speed things along for you guys. So we will put all that stuff away. So now that we have those augments done, that's going to go ahead and give us a secondary reception coil augment. So let's claim that. And that gives us a level 1 2 times processing speed for our thermal expansion machines, which is pretty cool. So we will put all of this stuff away once again. So moving along here, we have redstone cooking. So this wants us to make a redstone furnace basic, which we should already have somewhere, don't we? Didn't we make a redstone furnace? I feel like we have one. Maybe we have never made one. No, okay, so redstone furnace, let's look at that. Redstone furnace. Okay, stop making the sound, jetpack. We do need brick for that. I wonder if we have any clay for the bricks and all this stuff. Yeah, that's something we'll have to look at. Clay. We do have some clay brick. We don't have that. Okay, so let me go ahead and make one of these real quick and we'll be back, guys. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I made a redstone furnace basic, and then I made this trivection chamber thing that we were looking at last episode. Increases food output, minus 50% energy used. So let's stick this thing over here where we actually have some power. I'll just stick it right there. Yeah, that'll get a little bit of power. So does this require, it doesn't say it requires a special version like a hardened thing. So we'll just get rid of the redstone. We'll put that in there. Does this, the tooltip say anything different now? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I want to see what happens if we cook something in that furnace. Let's do chicken. We've been getting that from our mob farm. Let's just grab 8 of those and we'll stick it over here. I don't know if it like doubles it every time or if it's a chance to double or what. Let's try it though. Oh yeah, look at that. It doubles the food that it cooks. That is pretty awesome. Very cool. I like that. Okay, so now we know, and I guess we'll just take this machine down for now. We've been using better food, obviously, than the chicken. But if we do need to cook any food, definitely put it in that. I wonder, does it save the power? Yes. So if we cook bread in there, do we have any dough? What is it? Flour? I don't think we have the right flour to try that. I was gonna see if we could cook bread in there, if it would double that. It might. I don't know. That'd be pretty awesome. Okay, so we'll just put those things away for now. And that's gonna give us 8 gold ore. Just curious, we only have 627 gold ore right now, so thank goodness we got that from that quest, am I right? Let's take these and we'll compress those down into the blocks again. And we got 526 blocks. Oh man, we are going to be so good on these resources that we make from the agricraft mod. So laser mining is the last one that's left on this section. We can start in over here. This wants us to do some more Mine Factory Reloaded machines, starting with fishing. So let's go ahead and try this one real quick. I think we're going to be wrapping the episode up here pretty soon, though. So the quest says, love seafood, hate fishing. The fisher is a solution to your problem. Place it directly over water, apply power, and put some item collection device like a chest on top and come back later to collect the fish the invisible hamsters leave for you. Okay, so fisher. This requires some plastic sheets, some iron gears. Let's get those going. Iron. So we're going to need 8 pieces of iron to make those 2 gears. Go ahead and throw those down here real quick, since those are going to take a minute. Okay, what else do we need for the fisher? This says we need one of those, a fishing rod, some buckets. All right, how is this doing? Okay, that's going to take a minute. We'll come back to that here. So fishing rod, I did put all my string over here since we have a deep storage full of string. So I'll just take a little bit of that with us. So string will allow us to make the fishing rod. And we need 2 buckets. I'm going to make that from the tin recipe here. We'll make one of those. And we'll make one of these. Okay, so the only thing left is those 2 iron gears, and I think that should be about melted by now. It looks like it is melted in the smeltery. Alright, we'll make these up real quick. I probably should go through and pre-make a bunch of these things, and the gold and the Invar gears, and I think some of the Enderium gears, since we do use those quite often, and unfortunately there isn't the quicker recipe where you can just craft it for a little bit more expense. Okay, so there is a fisher. Now it says we place this over water, give it some power, and a chest or an inventory. What does this look like? Work, idle, energy, okay. And where do we have some water that we could place this over? I guess we could stick it down below underneath here. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense though. Let us stick it. We don't have any blocks or anything. I was gonna say we can stick it above one of these source blocks of water. We do that. Is it gonna work with just one source block of water? I don't know. It might need a 3x3 to work. Let's grab that tesseract that we just got in a chest. Grab one of those. So I'm kind of curious if we can set it up something like this. Let's put the hover mode back on this thing. Okay, right like that. We will put the tesseract on the side and we will have it receive some power. We don't want it sending items. Okay, so we got power. It's doing its little idle thing. Let's see if we get a fish in the thing above. No fish. Okay, so there we go. We'll put the chest on top once again, and we'll put the tesseract on the side once again. Yeah, now we got work happening here. Okay, so now it's not just sitting in the idle stage. So that should make us some fish. Let's let this go through a couple work cycles, and we'll be back, guys. Alright, guys, so I've let this thing go for a few cycles now, and we've caught 2 regular fish and then 1 salmon. So this thing is exceptionally slow at catching fish. It's not really a way, unless there's some quest that we need a whole bunch of fish for some reason or another. I don't think we're ever going to be using these things. It is just really, really slow. But now that we got that done, we can go ahead and claim a reward, 1 full heart. And I think we'll just add that to our collection in here. We have a few full hearts in here. We got a half of heart. I really should go and make these heart containers. We've gotten, was it 6 of the yellow ones? Yeah, 6 of these yellow ones, but we can put up to 10 of each of those. And I don't know if we can get green at all. Heart container? Heart canister, that's what it's called. So how can we make the green heart? Oh, we can with crucible crafting. Okay, so that's a thing we can do. Just an emerald turns into that apparently. Or this way. Huh. Okay. That looks like a Thaumcraft thing. Yep. Okay. So that's something we will look at doing in the future sometime. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode today. Ooh, what are we going to catch? What are we going to catch? It's just about done. We got a plastic bag. Dang litterers. Alright guys, yep, that's gonna do it for this episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Hope you guys liked it. Did spend a bunch of time, like I said, getting this stuff set up over here. These seeds take forever to get done. But yeah, it's pretty awesome that our resources are now gonna be renewable for forever, and it basically costs us nothing to keep getting resources. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.